Sophia, thanks for that nice introduction. I'm Robin DiGiammarino from Charlestown. Who's been to Charlestown before? Raise your hand. Ooh, this is good. Okay. And I heard who is here for the first time. Who has seen this public art installation that I'm going to be talking about, Bridge of Joy? Oh, nice. So most of you, this is new. So I'm ready to switch over to slides. And we're holding on just for a moment. I kind of like that. Yeah. So, as Sophia said, a group of neighbors back in 2017 knew that the tall ships were coming into Boston, and we thought, oh my goodness, we need to do something to clean up our neighborhood. And we did. We worked with the city to get them to remove what I refer to as gas station shrubbery, and we raised money to install perennial gardens. And the rep from the city said, you ought to become a 501c3, a nonprofit. We'll be able to help you more. I was like, no, I'm done. I'm not going to do that anymore. By the next year, 2018, we did the first of 3 public art installations. Dale Rogers, the big dogs, Lyman Whitaker, Wind on Water, sculptures, and then Michael Alfano of Many Minds. Oops. And we're going on and off. Technical difficulties. No, that's okay. Trying different ports. Does this happen to anybody else? Yeah, all the time. All the time, right? It's okay. Here we go. I saw all of you looking like, why are there those things up there? So at the end of 2023, we wrapped up our 3rd public art installation. And we said, okay, we're going to take 2024 to think about what we want to do next. And we wanted to do one big thing. And our goal was to connect 2 parts of Charlestown that are physically divided by the Tobin Bridge. That big green bridge you see in that picture divides one community into 2 areas. One that has a lot of access to green space, water, open space, and one that's densely populated, a lot of public housing. And there's a psychological barrier walking on this forbidding pedestrian walkway underneath that bridge to travel either way. And we thought, what if we tried to connect 2 parts of Charlestown through public art? Why not? That couldn't be hard. So back in 2024, we learned that the Mayor's Office of Arts and Culture in Boston was putting out a grant application, and it was a neighborhood downtown activation grant. We spent the early first half of 2024 meeting different partners, including Sophia, and our artist in resident who came this morning, Linda Forsyth, to think about, well, what does the community want? What does it need? We've imposed ideas in the past, but we want this to be more grassroots. So we sought out proposals from 4 artists. 2 are from the Boston area, Cicely Caro, Catherine Chin, and then 2 international, Thomas Dambo and Gillian Mark from Australia. And we talked to the artists about, this is our budget. We were awarded the grant. This is the budget. This is what we can do. This is our timeline. We're thinking Bunker Hill anniversary, the 250th in June of 2025. We're thinking next year in 2026, tall ships are coming back, another anniversary to celebrate. Let's see what we can do. So we presented our partners, 6 different organizations started working with us. What do you think of these proposals? And we met, we gave them the proposals, they thought about it for a couple of weeks, and we're sitting at a table at the Charlestown Public Library, and we're asking them to vote. And we're classy, we have stickies, right? So we gave everyone their 4 stickies and ranked them, 1, 2, 3, 4. Unanimously, it was Gillian Mark from Australia. Now these folks are internationally renowned artists. Their work is in Singapore, Shanghai, London, Paris, Miami, San Francisco, New York. That's where they were when we started talking to them. And it was like, how about a volunteer nonprofit in Boston bringing them up here? They said, yeah, let's do it. So these are the artists that were chosen by our community partners, and their names are Jilly and Mark. Mark is on the left, and their passion is to educate the public about endangered species and do that through their art and help people become advocates for them and to help protect endangered species. They're on this level, they're thinking up here. We're thinking, can we just get another art exhibit in? Talk about blossoming and growing and thinking, okay, the power of what we possibly could do. So these are the 3 sculptures that were sitting at the Oculus in New York City. This is the hippo, who's hungry to try new things, with a rabbit woman. I'll explain who she is soon. This is the wild table of love. There are animals sitting around a table. I want you to notice there are 2 open seats. And this is the arms of friendship. It's an octopus, and each tentacle is holding an endangered species. Now, I've never seen them except for these pictures. And you can go see them in the Navy Yard and in Charlestown. They're here for 2 years, which is another accomplishment. The first art exhibit we did was 3 months, and then they said, okay, maybe 6 months, and then 18 months, and now 2 years, although we'd like to keep them forever. And these are the locations for them. So here's your bridge, and so the wild table up here is represented by the giraffe. The octopus is this is a dry dock area for anyone that knows about the Navy Yard. They would bring in ships and put them in the dry dock, drain the water, repair them, send them out. So this is a pretty busy entrance to the Navy Yard. So the octopus sitting here, and then down here is a ferry, and that's where the hippo is. So those were the 3 areas that we thought, okay, we'll do that. People said, you are crazy to put something under the Tobin Bridge. That's not a very safe area to do that. I thought, bring it on, let's do it. So these are the sculptures being transported from New York to Boston. A former board member is driving back from New York City on Route 84. She sends me the text message with this picture the day that the sculptures are coming. She said, Ruth says, they're on the way. I'm like, holy mackerel. Can you imagine driving on Route 84? There were 2 flatbeds and a pickup truck with these sculptures. Now, you're probably wondering what this sculpture is. This is the top of the octopus, and I'll tell you more about that, but just so you know. Imagine our delight, July 31st of this summer. Here they come. They're on the way. They're driving them into the Navy Yard. Imagine driving around Boston and seeing them come. And you have to understand that these are being transported from New York City to Boston. The gentlemen that are in charge of that move have come to see us in March to figure out what's the route going to be. These are tall. They can't go through tunnels. You have to be careful of wires. So their job in the spring was to figure out the route. But here they arrive, and we stop traffic. This is the hippo being suspended and moved down the dry dock area to its location. And you'll get to see the sculptures, but what I wanted you to know today is the backstory, right? The fun stuff. Like, how did this happen? And all of you that are creatives, you know all the work that goes in behind the scenes, and you also know that things don't always go the way you plan. So the octopus is 36 feet long, 14 feet high, and it weighs 7.7 tons. It's big. It usually comes in 2 parts, and it's basically a sleeve. The center of the octopus, one slides down over the other. But to get it out of New York City and up to us, they had to decapitate the octopus. So it traveled separately. And the day that the sculptures arrived, it was pouring rain. Does anybody know anything about welding? You do not weld in the rain. So they spent a couple of hours with this crane trying to maneuver getting this to line up. And if you've ever dangled something that weighs tons over another entity and tried to get it to line up, it's hard work. So we're going, okay, we can do hard things. This is good. The sun came out the next day. It did get connected. Now that you have the inside scoop, you can go look and see where that seam is. So here they are. They're in place. And it was a beautiful blue sky kind of day. The hippo you can understand. But what's this? This is a woman with a rabbit's head. She represents Jilly, one of the artists. Her husband, Mark, is dog man. She is rabbit woman. They're in all of their sculptures. So the reason they chose this is they represent differences. A dog and a rabbit don't get along in the wild. A dog would eat a rabbit. And they're showing how others can get along. They have different religious backgrounds. They come from different parts of the world. They met. They have a shared passion for saving endangered species. And so here she is. She's sitting at a table. Again, open stools. Sit down. And she's offering him a slice of watermelon. And here's our sculpture under the Tobin Bridge. Everybody said, you're crazy. It's like, yeah, we are. We're going to do it. This is probably the most important location because it's inviting people to come and see the sculpture, but inviting people that normally wouldn't come over into the Navy Yard and people in the Navy Yard that wouldn't go over into Charlestown to do that. The partners that we worked with said, our kids deserve nice things. They shouldn't have to go to the Boston Common and see the Embrace sculpture to see nice things. They knew that this would be a showstopper, and it certainly has. It's, talk about joy, right? And unexpected things. So here's one of these sculptures. This is the gorilla. He's at the head of the table. And this sculpture, by the way, altogether is 4.4 tons. When we went before the Boston Art Commission, which was one of the things we had to do to get all the approvals, they were like, is it safe? Anybody gonna take it? Like, no, 7.7 tons, 4.4 tons. The hippo is the lightest at 1,100 pounds. I think we're good. We don't need to anchor it. So here is my friend the octopus. And you know, when I showed you that graphic that it's the dry dock, there's water, I love to think that she just kind of crawled up out of the water and positioned herself at the head of the dry dock. And she's showing all of us the animals that are in danger. And she's lifting them up on her tentacles. So you can get a sense of scale. This guy, he's almost 6 feet. It's my husband, so he'd like to think he's 6 feet. He's not. But look at the distance up to the top, right? And we're back at the wild table of love. So the next shots that I'm going to show you, Sophia died when I had so many slides, but I want to give you a flavor of the joy. So what our hope was with this public art exhibit way back in early 2024 was to bring something that was large to Charlestown, something that was unexpected, something that was joyful, and something that you could interact with. I think we nailed it. You can sit at this table. You can say, who's missing at this table? Who should we invite? At our grand opening, kids were filling out these cards and pinning them up on clotheslines. We asked them, write down, who should be there? My little brother Sam, he's misbehaved, he should sit at the table. Should be Jesus, it's the Last Supper. I mean, the suggestions went on and on. So here's the hippo, just someone joking around. I love this one, they're laughing. It looks like he's having a cup of coffee. Well, that's one of the bronze sculptures. And then there's Rabbit Woman offering those slice of watermelon. And this is the grand opening, a little girl that may or may not have come to anything that we've had before, but she's there getting her face painted. We did animal face painting. We had tattoos, food, a little bit of entertainment, and she's writing down what her suggestion should be for who else should be at the table. So now the little boy just climbed right up on the sculpture. Officially, there is no climbing on the sculptures, okay? Just so you know. And people just goofing around, right? Being part of the sculpture. You don't have to go to a museum to enjoy art. It's outside. It'll be there when it snows, when it's foggy, when you get up early in the morning and just need to go visit. It'll be there. There's another guy enjoying some time at the Wild Table of Love. And then another father-daughter moment. And now I want to explain about, so we met Rabbit Woman. Well, this is Dog Man. And this is a sign. It's not a sculpture. Because when we did the permit with the Mass Department of Transportation, we said we had one sculpture and one sign. So. But their job has been to educate, to inspire, and that's where we are now. We started out, talk about blossoming. Our idea was we just want to do another public art exhibit. And then we're thinking, well, how do we connect two parts of Charlestown? That's, the flower opening. And then what can we do with community partners, individuals, groups that would inspire connection? And that's programming. And that's ongoing. And things that are unexpected that are happening. Just at this site, see this fence? We went to the Mass Department of Transportation and said, you know what, we need to amend our permit. There's no fencing there, and we're concerned about people enjoying the exhibit and then running out onto Chelsea Street. A couple of days later, there's a fence. The other amendment to our permit was, we want to put solar lighting in because we're concerned about this area being so dark at night. Swear to God, there are lights going in. Never had to do. So unexpected things are happening. And that's what's so cool about art, right? You're creating, and it doesn't always go the way you want to, like the head had to be cut off. But it ends up being better. And we don't know what's going to happen for programming. It's here until July 2027. We want the community to create, to just come and enjoy, but also to start programming. Linda is working with someone who's an origami specialist. The hippo wants to try new things. It doesn't have to only be food. It could be learning to fold origami. You could put mittens on the octopus for people that need warm clothing. You could talk about food insecurity or healthy eating at the Table of Love. We have no idea. And it will be so fun to watch this blossom or unfold. This was the night of the grand opening. And one of the things we thought is, Charlestown has a food pantry, Harvest on Vine. What if we invited people either to contribute with Venmo or bring some canned food? And so we almost filled that up. And then this picture, this is my last one, guys. This was sent to me this week. This is the Charlestown Nursery School. And I don't know if you remember when you were a little kid or if you have kids, at the start of school, they'll often ask a question, yes, no questions, and you just take your magnetic name tag and you put it on the left or the right side. Have you been on an airplane? Do you like spaghetti? Well, this question on Wednesday was, have you visited the Bridge of Joy sculptures in the Navy Yard? We need to find Vivi. Because it was taken. I know her. You know her? So it was ongoing. This picture was taken before everyone put their names up. You can see they're down here. But the kids are bringing their families. And I was telling someone else earlier, there is a little girl in Charlestown that loves watching The Lion King. And she has a Lion King stuffed animal. And she drags her mom down to the Wild Table of Love to see that lion. I mean, how cool is that? You don't have to go in a museum. She's going to grow up thinking, art's outside. I can go whenever I want. So, yeah, public art is in bloom. I wanted to share the website for Jillian and Mark. Their work is incredible. It really is all over the world. We are so excited to bring it north of New York City and to have it here. And this is our volunteer nonprofit. We're 8 years old. Who knows what will happen next? but we're having a lot of fun along the way. And thank you.